of the Empire State Building.
All right, welcome everyone. I'm excited. You might know his face, Charlie Gillespie from Julie and the Phantoms. You open up Netflix, you see you see his show, you see his face. Welcome to the Zoom room right now, Charlie.
The Zoom room. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for having me.
All right, no problem. All right, let's talk about this first. Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you very much. Why do you want to talk about this?
Well, no, because I think we're all experiencing it right now, almost a year in. Normally, you celebrate a big milestone birthday. You just turned what, 21?
22.
22. There we go. How do you even try to even get some friends together and celebrate, or you just, hey, we'll down the road, we'll find a way, celebrate the birthday? What did you do for your birthday?
Well, actually, it's a little different where I'm from. COVID has been very, our borders have been, I'm in Canada, but I'm in the Atlantic region. So, our borders have literally been closed off. So,
right.
You can have people over at your house. There's really no difference right now. And so, we've just been able to, hang out when the pool. Actually, it was the same day that the trailer dropped. So, it was, kind of fun and exciting. All my friends got to see that. And it was a pretty fun day there. But, you can still, booze and kind of hang out, I guess, and not have to worry about too much there. But honestly though, what we ended up doing was we went out for this hike called it's on the Chinecto Loop. And so basically it's this 3-day hike that you bring everything in your backpack, right? And you walk around this this peninsula, and it's wicked, man. It's one of the coolest things you can do out here. But thank you very much for the belated birthday wish. I appreciate that. And hey, well, if we're giving out birthday wishes, happy belated birthday to you too, my friend.
Well, it's coming up actually, October. There we go. So
October. Happy early birthday to you.
See, you're one of the first, so I appreciate that.
There you go.
Well, it's funny. I'm sure the cast of Schitt's Creek is just partying it up in Canada right now. They had a big Emmy win. They won 7 Emmys last night, so I'm sure they're still partying their butts off anyway. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I imagine that 100%.
All right, yeah. Let's talk about Julie and the Phantoms. First, working with Kenny Ortega, do you look at the script first, or you just go in blind with trust, knowing that this man has created shows like High School Musical, Newsies, Hocus Pocus, The Descendants? Do you go, you know what, this guy, I don't need any more. This guy's resume speaks for itself.
Yeah, 100%. Kenny's resume speaks for itself. He, especially what's so fun about us as a cast is we grew up watching Kenny's stuff. That's Owen, it always tells the story about that's how he started theater. He felt he had to portray this basketball kind of kid, but not basketball, but
right.
And that kind of energy but he wanted to go do theater. So it's the craziest thing is the influence that he's had on us. Whereas back in maybe High School Musical days, you had the Hocus Pocus, you had the Dirty Dancing, but he was more of that legend in the music world, where he was doing these massive concerts with Michael Jackson and Cher and
now he's working with you
and Kiss and yeah, now he wants to do that with us, man. The craziest thing is the High School Musical came up to Toronto, and I remember seeing them, and my entire family, we drove all the way out there. It's an 18-hour drive, and we just saw the concert, and now it's so fun, and it was a really cool concert. This guy sees the stage the same way he'll see a set. It'll be a performance when you get on stage with him. So, but
before you even started, did you ask Kenny, how much dancing do I need to do? Before page one.
Well, you think you're gonna have to do some dancing,
right.
Come on. But I had no idea we were gonna have to do this much. When we were doing our boot camp, originally I thought it was really just going to be us as a band. We're going to play music, we're going to sing. And, this massive concept that he's been preaching to us is that he wanted to have a show that kind of had the music built into it rather than just the breakout numbers. And we do have some of those breakout numbers, and there's some of the, my favorite numbers in the series, but he really wanted to be able to, go on tour and actually have a band kind of synergy. Right. So at the end of the day, I figured we were going to have to do, Madison had to do a little more, but when we had to start doing this duet number that we had, it was it was next level. We were like rehearsing with breakdancing and like like salsa and reggaeton. Like, you know, we were doing all these like kind of like very like Latin infused kind of style dancing too. But then we were also doing like ballroom to kind of incorporate how we're going to do it together. And so doing those rehearsals really got me in the boots for it there. And it's Kenny, man.
Well, speaking of boots too, you spoke about it a lot, but going through boot camp too, you already had you know, the music side to you, but going through something like boot camp, music boot camp, I mean, is it just as intense as anything else that you had ever done before?
Is it just as intense as everything? It was intense, but it was like the funniest thing because we all became like, I was passionate about the guitar. I was really like, I loved it.
And I know you just got an electric. So during quarantine, I was like, you know what, I'm going to start learning guitar. So I got my own electric.
There you go.
First time, a
Oh,
Fender.
yeah. Wait, show me the bass. What is that? You who painted that?
Yeah. So this is, I believe this is Shawn Mendes has his own line of electric guitars that just came out. So.
Dude, that is so cool. I love it. It's like, it's almost like it was like hand like drawn on there.
But here's the problem. I'm at stage one. Like you're a senior in high school. I'm literally starting like first grade. Okay. Like, so I got work to do
somewhere, man. You got to start somewhere. And, you know, it was lucky that I had this like, you know, background with the guitar beforehand, but these classes made me feel like a first grader. I was learning things that I never even thought I had to learn.
Like, what was the biggest takeaway that you learned?
Well, I love running scales now, you know, just going up and like back and forth. But it's like, you know, another thing is just wanting to continue to learn and also trying to figure out ways you can learn on yourself was probably my biggest takeaway as well. Like my instructor's like, dude, go and like just play music for an hour, pull out your guitar, figure out what the chords are. And by doing that, like, I mean, he would, just because you're like first, I would suggest you like all the way to like the 12th fret, like learn at least the first 4 chords in like you know, like F, G, you know, A, B, C, you know, D, E, and then like learn all 4 of those, and then you'll end up moving so forward, because it's like if you're listening to a song and you're trying to figure out what the chords are, you'll just be able to like, you know, and then once you figure out like where you at, then you can go and you play the bar chords, you know.
See, I was piano growing up. So guitars, you know, they say piano is supposed to be like the bass, the introduction to all instruments. So outside of that, I was like, all right, well, but now I need to go. So after literally this interview, I'm doing my first lesson. So think about that. Think about that during your interviews. The poor sap in Jersey is learning electric guitar for the first time. God only knows what it sounds like. So
I love that you picked up an electric, man. Electrics are so much fun. They're like little.
You know what it is? It looks badass too. It looks badass.
And it looks badass. Yeah, you got to get some of those. So in like episode 1, like we added these hooks onto the end, and they're very like, they're inexpensive, but it just locks in your strap. And so I was able to do like that, like the neck swing around there. And you got to start learning those moves. Google like top 10 rock and roll moves that you can do at home, and you'll have some more fun with it, man.
Oh, that's a whole nother video too. All right, let's talk about the base of the show too. I mean, the fans are, you know, from memes to conspiracy theories to questions. I mean,
yeah.
How are you absorbing all of this? I mean, you can't probably go a day without hearing something new that you probably had no idea about the show or yourself.
Well, they're figuring out things that I didn't even know.
Right.
Like that's the craziest thing. Is like, there's like in the first episode, I sit down with the boys on this couch, and then there's a poster behind me that says like it's a missing poster for my character, right? But then to the right, I never realized there's an unfinished business poster, and that's like our big thing with the ghosts. And then when Willie and Alex like bump into each other for the first time, there's this big thing of green light, and so I called Kenny up. I'm like, Did you know that there was like this green light? When he's like, yes, Charlie, I knew. I'm like, well,
Easter eggs. Yeah.
Easter eggs. He's been planting these things, and the boys as well. Like Dan and Dave are show creators there. They've been like implementing these little things that like we're just figuring out now because of the fans. But it's crazy, man. The memes are hilarious. Like BuzzFeed posted a few where they just like run down like all their favorite ones, but then the fans
writing a song about your mom.
Yeah. Oh my God. The Unsaid Emily ones just drive me. They're hilarious. Yeah. And then also like the Reggie ones. I saw this one yesterday. No, see, a meme, it's like a stand-up joke. You have to build it up, and by looking at it is the build-up. So you got to go find them, man. They're good.
They're all over the internet. Trust me. All right,
Oh
but
yeah.
let's talk about Sunset Curve as a where we are in the world right now. You guys are kind of ahead of the curve because a lot of performances, like we had a big iHeartRadio music festival over the weekend, and Kane Brown and Swali, Kane Brown was literally a hologram. So he pretty much was what you guys are in the show, technically.
Yeah.
You know, you guys could do that out on tour almost, you know, outside once touring happens, or even do virtual shows as Sunset Curve, I think.
As well, I mean, I think the hope would be just Julie and the Phantoms in general. Like, we'll play our Sunset Curve song and songs, and then we'll go into it and do this massive, like, but like, you know, with Kenny, there's going to be magic involved 100%.
Of course.
Because especially, you know, since we get to play these ghosts, like it would be so much fun to have a bit of stage magic, you know, not just special effects magic where it's like, oh, like they edited in a couple of holograms while Madison's singing, right? But it's like, it would be fun to actually like have, like, I mean, Michael Jackson has this show still going on in Vegas,
right?
And it's a hologram of him. So the technology, I mean, like you said, Kane Brown just did it this past week. I haven't seen, but I love that guy, so I want to go check it out.
So, I mean, have you guys as a group, I mean, you're doing the show, hopefully you get season upon season upon season, and no one figures out that, you know, I personally think my thoughts on the whole show, you guys should never come out at, you know, no one should really figure out that you're ghosts. I think I think once you do that, then it's like, all right, well, they're ghosts now. I think just write it out until like the last episode of the series, you know what I mean? And then everybody gets shocked that way. That's my personal opinion.
I'm right on there with you, my friend. I think it's way more fun having this world of, you don't have like
mystery.
You know, the mystery of the ghosts, and you know, we actually get to, like, what's fun is like we do have the ghost world to interact with, so it's not just like us always like talking to a wall when we're talking to people. It's we can actually have these relationships and these build-ups with the ghost world in itself as well. So you know, you do have like that like the two, right? So yeah, no, I'm 100% on there with you.
How many times have you guys broken character while filming just because it's like you're not supposed to be here, but it's too hard to keep a straight face?
Dude, we break character a lot. We have so much fun. I mean, actually, you know what? We were breaking character a bit, and then Kenny's like, you guys, like what you're doing is actually like awesome for the camera. Some of my best moments, and he talks about like moments with Dirty Dancing. And he's like, you know, some of the best moments that I found I've captured were when, you know, when you guys broke away from the characters and you guys created this little thing, but then they held with it. They didn't break the scene and say like, okay, let's do another take. Let's stay with it. And I think that's a big acting thing. So it was like, after like we started filming for like maybe like a couple weeks, we all started like, okay, well, if one of us breaks, then let's just implement that into whatever scene that we're doing right now, and we'll go with it. And that's been crazy. I mean, except for like the scenes where, you know, if like the ghosts are in the room and then the other one starts laughing or whatever there because he's a human and he can like hear us, or she can hear us there. But,
so Charlie, as with a Netflix show like Julie and the Phantoms, is it hard to talk to people because the show gets released, you know, in its entirety as opposed to previous projects where it's like a week by week situation?
Boom, it's right there, man.
Yeah. So is it hard? So when people come and like, oh, have you seen it? And it's like, oh, what episode are you up to? Or it's, can I talk to you about the whole thing?
Yeah. Well, I always ask, my first question is always like, what's your favorite song? Like, what moved you the most? And then usually they'll answer with like, oh, I'm only at episode 2, or, oh, I've watched the whole thing 3 times. And I'm like, dude, so what's your favorite one? And then they go into it. And
it's weird when mom doesn't answer correctly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's funny there. Anyways, I was at this place the other day. I mean, just because of COVID, the world's a lot closed.
Right. Of course.
Like, you know, there's still like when we're out in public, you know, you still keep your distance and do certain things. But then there was this person the other day that it was like the first time we kind of happened. They watched the show. They were really big fans. I was really happy. And then my friend, they always call me, like, compare me to like Joey, but I love Friends, and I always say, how you doing? Like, you know, but I don't mean it in a sexual way. I'm always just like, how you doing? And then the mom starts like giggling like a little girl. I was like, I lost it, man. I thought it was the funniest thing.
All right. Well, Charlie. So, I mean, the conspiracies are out there, obviously.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everything gets going. Season 2, does the talks happen? Do you know anything about going forward? When can you go back and film? Where are you at? Do you know anything? Pretty much.
We really don't yet, man. Like we're still waiting. So a lot of people are gonna watch it. There's still a lot of people who are like, I mean, we get that question every single day.
Right.
I probably get like 150 DMs just like, "Oh, when season 2 coming out? When season 2 coming out?" I'm like,
people are. That's the problem with Netflix, though. You have to learn about patience. I mean,
you have to learn about patience, but then again, there's people that are messaging like they've watched it like 20 times. I'm like, oh my God, I like listen to the songs a couple of times instead. but then again, like, you know, I love that that it drops all at once because, you know, we filmed it. It's you know, it's 9 episodes of 30 minutes, but we filmed it like a movie. Like most people are sitting down and they're watching the whole thing, and they get to receive it as the whole thing rather than just like those little segments. And I think that really like hits with people. So I love that Netflix is just like, hey, you know, you're the master of your own kind of like self.
Right, exactly.
You know, if you can go and you can watch
sprint,
it one by week, go for it. But most people, exactly, they just want to go watch it again.
So around like, if you start from the beginning, it's around probably episode 4 going into 5. That's where the warning comes up. Are you still watching? So that's the one thing we got to figure out with Netflix. We got to talk to Mr. Netflix, figure out how we just, yes, we're still watching. Don't ask us the question. Let's keep on going.
Yeah, we should have like a little thing right before you start the show. Like, okay, warning, this show will make you want to binge. Do you want us to ask you to stop halfway through?
Right.
Just be a big no. Yeah.
Charlie, you hold on to that, okay? You go straight to Netflix, burst open the doors, kick them open, you know, bring the guitar so you serenade, and you give them that idea. You give them that idea.
I'll bust right into like the CEO's door, like you know, jamming out to him there.
Security. All right, Charlie. Julie and the Phantoms on Netflix now. Congratulations, and hopefully, we get to hang out in person one day. I can show you how far I've come along on an electric guitar, and we can jam out.
Yeah. Have fun, man. Good luck. You're gonna love the instrument, and thank you so much for the interview. I love this.
No problem. Thank you very much. Be well.
From the top of the Empire State Building.